Get in on the action with Sports Interaction. We got the NBA and NHL conference finals and soon-to-be finals. Are you ready? Baseball in full swing.
Oh, that's what they do in baseball.
Yeah, that's right.
This guy.
Competitive odds, best live and play, and more ways to get into the game. Make your next bet with Sports Interaction. Head to sportsinteraction.com/STPN or download the app. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. The most quotable moment from Kyle Dubas' press conference in Pittsburgh yesterday is the following. And Steve has not heard this yet because Steve wanted to save it for the show. So I want to get a Steve FR or a Dubas FR, a DFR on this. DFR, Steven. Do not look at Jesse's screen. Take your freaking glasses off. Don't you dare.
You wanted me to.
No, I'm going to read it out to you and you're going to have to listen. I heard a lot.
I'm not going to get to hear him say it?
I'm going to say it to you. No.
Can you say it charming and like a youth pastor?
Dubas was optimistic, and this is according to a Sportsnet article, about whether or not the Pittsburgh's championship window was still currently open. Here's the quote. I heard a lot of people that were highly skeptical of the team's ability to contend here. And the way I view it is if people want to bet against Mike Sullivan, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, and others, they can go ahead and do so. But I'm going to bet on them, and I'm going to go with them there. I do think this group is capable of contending to win a championship.
I mean,
now he does continue to go on, but I want to stop you there. Did Kyle Dubas, we can and we will himself? Because
a little bit, because what if he fires or trades any of those people? So now he's committed to not firing or trading any of those people.
Right. Which, listen, I think in a vacuum, all of those players are good. But I think the problem is that Chris Letang had a stroke last year. We're worried about Chris Letang's long-term health. And honestly, it's amazing that he's still playing because
it wasn't even his first one.
People have been worried about Chris Letang's long-term health since 2008. Mm-hmm. Like, he has had crazy injuries that he's come back from. So you don't bet against Chris Letang to come back.
Yeah, he's won 3 cups since then.
Exactly. Yeah. Evgeny Malkin missed most of last year.
Misses half of every season. And in the half he does play, he's one of the best players in the world.
I don't think anybody's questioning Sid.
No.
He's had some crazy injuries, but he's been amazing. Do
you want Kyle to say it?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We can have Kyle say it.
Okay, Kyle.
Good. That's a good impression.
Thank you.
Kyle!
Through the course of this process, I had the chance to speak with Coach Sullivan and Sidney Crosby. I thought that those were very important people for me to get a real deep sense of where they felt the organization was at and where it would be going, so that I knew coming in where they felt the Penguins were at and what they felt the Penguins would need for somebody in this role. Those conversations, a number of conversations with Coach Sullivan, but also the conversation with Sid were paramount in my decision to come here. They're some of the best competitors in hockey. Obviously, Mike Sullivan's record as a coach and Sidney's as a player speak for themselves, and that is one of the most exciting parts about coming here to Pittsburgh to work with the people that are up with me here, but also every single day on the hockey operations side. I see this task ahead of us as a two-pronged effort. In the short run, it's continuing to make decisions that are going to allow the team to be competitive while the core group of players that have led the team here to championships in the past continue to perform at the levels that they have for as long as they can and make decisions that will support them in the lineup every night, that will allow the team to continue to contend each season while those players are with us. At the same time, the work will also begin at delivering a long-term hockey organization that can be the class of the NHL, and to reduce any gap in time that there otherwise would be from the end of those great players' careers to the next era of great hockey for the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's our intention, and that's the work that we'll get started on as soon as we wrap up here. And we're very, very honored to be here and join the city of Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I don't not believe for a second. I'm fully confident that Kyle Dubas is going to be able to put together the second half of that.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to be able to create an organization top down, right into the I don't want to call them minor leagues, but the professional leagues below the NHL. He's going to be able to do that. I can tell you, Penguins fans, he will absolutely be able to do that.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll read it again. If you want to bet against Mike Sullivan, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, and others, they can go ahead and do that. See, I wouldn't bet against any of those guys. I would bet against them together. And it's not Mike Sullivan and it's not Sidney Crosby. But I really have a hard time, guys. And I understand this is what Kyle Dubas does, right? He's really good at nibbling around the edges. That's all he could do in Toronto. Once he signed Tavares, he couldn't really do much else. But he has a monumental task. And I want to bring up, Jesse, if you can, the Pittsburgh Penguins cap-friendly page.
Sure.
To try to even augment the depth and get rid of all the horrendous deals that were signed over the last two administrations. And then on top of that, cross your fucking fingers that everybody over 35 can keep it together. This is, to me, I think he put himself in a position again, and I know that he's a bold man and I respect that, where there's less criticism in Pittsburgh, but you didn't have to say that. You could say, you know what? They're great players. Our job is to win the Stanley Cup in this organization, and we're going to do everything we can to do that. A great nothing answer that remains true and that everybody could understand.
That was, was that not shades of Lou? There was a little bit of Ludilage.
But he's like, no, we're going to Ludilage. But we got to keep the band together. Do you? Because I don't think you can.
I mean, he committed to not rebuilding, kind of.
Right now. And I
just build.
You don't think that's fair, Adam?
No, I don't. I don't think you
that
can
he's going to try and contend for the next couple of years?
I'll put my balls on the line right now, and you can, if they win the cup next year or the year after or the year after that with these three guys, you can quote this back to me.
Look into the camera.
They're not going to win with these three guys. No. Mike Sullivan's a great coach. Sidney Crosby's a great player. Evgeny Malkin's a great player. Chris Letang's a great player. These four, with the three of them being players, I don't think can win the cup together again.
Listen,
I think Crosby can win. I think Malkin can win, and I think Letang can win. But I don't think they're going to win if it rests on the three of them to be the best.
Adam, I saw the Instagram post about your vasectomy.
Yes.
Your balls have been through enough.
Snip, snap.
Yes, that's enough. You're putting your balls on the line, that's enough.
Well, there's nothing left. That's why I can put them on the line.
Good.
You weren't castrated.
I know, I'm joking. The joke. Joking. I'm just saying, listen, I understand. I love Kyle, but I just want to take him aside and go, dude.
I don't know if that's how that
You
works.
didn't need to say that. You didn't need to say that. That doesn't need to be the case. And listen, I love Sidney Crosby as much as the next guy, but I would probably sit him down and say, listen, Sid, we could retool in a couple of years here and be really great.
He'll be 37.
Yeah, he doesn't have time for that.
Okay,
he'll be 38.
He's got Sidney Crosby has 2 years left on his contract. They asked Kyle actually if he talked to Sid in their meeting about the next deal, and he said, no, I didn't ask Sidney about that because the future is uncertain for a 37-year-old hockey player. Who knows if Sidney Crosby plays a game in the NHL after this deal expires. He has to be trying to win for at least the next 2 years, and I don't blame Kyle for trying to win with this core.
Pens fans, watch me work. Jesse, can you pull up their draft picks on the cap-friendly page?
Draft picks, yeah.
Oh, they got a first. Lovely. Say bye to that. He's trading that down. They also
Well, Pens fans are used to that.
Yeah, no, they don't have their second or their own third, so they're trading that first. They're going to trade down, and he's going to try to get as many picks as possible. He's going to try to do it with the Devils' third as well, on account of you don't have a fourth. And he has a Leafs draft pick in the 7th round. That's nice. I wouldn't be surprised to see him either try to accumulate a pick for this year, or he's going to do some sort of trade where he swaps exact picks for the next year. Whether it's a later round pick. Do you know what I mean? He'll trade this year's 5th, for example, in order to get a pick next year from someone else.
Okay, but do you think they can win the championship?
No. I wasn't fucking
He wasn't fucking
done.
Okay.
So he's going to take those extra picks that he's going to accumulate, and he's going to throw some of them out the door in order to get new guys to help this team win. Because he does have a little bit of cap space to work with. So one thing he's really good at is signing these short-term, non-committal contracts with good players who, once they're done those contracts, are going to move on somewhere else because they're going to be too expensive. So for the next 2 years, he has to accumulate those players. Honestly, Michael Bunting is a pretty good fit in Pittsburgh. I'm not going to lie.
I think, yeah, he would. But you got to drop. How do you drop some of those contracts? Let's go through some of them.
Well, Jeff Carter, you need to send to space.
We like Jake Gensel at 1 more year at $6 million.
Yeah.
Do we like Brian Rust for 5 more years at 5.125?
Oh boy, he's a good player, but oh boy.
Do we like Michael Granlund at 2 more years at $5 million each?
Absolutely not.
Do we like Ricard Raquel at 5 more years at $5 million each?
That's
Jeff.
That's a long time. He's
You
a
mentioned
good player, but that's a long time.
You mentioned Jeff Carter. Jeff Carter makes 3.125. You're gonna struggle to get rid of that. You do have a Nylander on staff.
Alex
Nylander. You've got Ryan Poehling and Drew O'Connor, who are RFAs. Josh Archibald, Nick Bonino, Danton Heinen, and Jason Zucker are all UFAs. Doubt any of them really re-sign.
I think he's going to steal half the Marlies.
Okay. Do you like Jeff Petrie at 6.25 for 2 more years? And I like Jeff Petrie.
I do, but like they're giving
Again, he's 35.
They're giving over $12 million to Petrie and Letang. It's tough.
Marcus Pettersson at 4.025. I don't mind.
We fought over this. I like that.
I like Marcus Pettersson. Jan Ruda, noted Alan Walsh client, 2.75.
I mean, he's good then.
Then he's good. And then you've got Pierre-Olivier Joseph and Chad Ruhwedel, who are both making about $800,000. Dumoulin and Kulikov are both UFAs.
I think we're wasting our time.
Casey DeSmith and Tristan Jarry.
You need a save. You need a fucking save.
And they'll be in the playoffs if they get a save. No question. This is a playoff team.
Yeah, trade Casey DeSmith. Trading Casey DeSmith is easier to do if you have a goalie, and Tristan Jarry is not locked up, and I kind of don't know if you should. I think he's going to be too expensive for a goalie of his quality. He has strangely bad games, so I don't know where you're going to get a goalie out of.
I mean, I don't even know what goalies are available. Somebody tweeted yesterday. They're like, honestly, Dubas should just offer sheet Samsonov.
So whenever a younger, forward-thinking executive gets hired to any NHL team, the conversation comes up. So, are they going to be the one to offer sheet everybody? Now, no one offer sheets anyone, so I wouldn't bet on it.
Dubas doesn't even offer sheet people.
That's true.
Like everyone's like, oh, maybe he'll start doing a thing that he's never done.
Right.
Who has he ever offer sheeted? Name one.
Nobody. But Samsonov would be a good candidate.
Okay.
The problem is I don't think Pittsburgh has the picks.
Okay.
They don't call them Pittsburgh, you see, because
Right.
they haven't called them Pittsburgh for quite some time. They need a save. Now, you could try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Okay.
And guess where I'm going with this, everybody? It's been a few months. They need to dump contracts, and they need a goalie. Karel Vejmelka, baby.
Oh.
Karel Vejmelka with the wherever the fuck they play Coyotes. Try to pry him out of there.
You keep talking. You're beating the Karel Vejmelka drum as though I think the Coyotes value him, man. I think they like him.
No. They're wrong to value him.
Why?
Because the Arizona Coyotes don't value winning.
Not yet.
Or competing in any way, shape, or form.
Getting an arena.
Yeah, no. So get rid of Vejmelka. Stop this. Stop this illusion.
Okay.
That's enough. What do you... Who are you selling this product to? The masses? No one can fit in your fucking building. Trade the good goalie. Get a bunch of shit and move on.
You want some UFA goalies who might be good options for Pittsburgh?
Do it.
Martin Jones, Ilya Samsonov, RFA. Tristan Jarry, UFA. They just bring him back. RFA, Swayman.
What cap hit is Jarry coming off of?
$3.5 million.
If he agrees to come back at that, you do it. But I think he's going to get 4 or 5 at least.
Dubas said in the press conference when asked specifically about Tristan Jarry, he said that we're going to take a look at the free agent goalies and Jarry included in that. And if Jarry's the best option to bring back, then that's what we're going to do. So he addressed it specifically in his press conference, but that was the answer. Frederick Anderson, get the band back together.
Dubas wants that anymore.
Antti Ranta,
Maybe.
Korpisalo, Cam Talbot, Jonathan Quick, Aiden Hill, James Reimer, Brian Elliott, Varlamov, Halak, Blackwood's an RFA.
Alan Walsh client.
Then we go down the list. Alex Lyon,
Oh, there's
Laurent
goals.
Brossoit, Connor Ingram, greatest goalie of all time, Anthony Stolars, Nedeljkovic. There's a decent crop.
Oh, that Ned contract's up, right?
There's a decent crop of goalies.
Yeah.
At least not like studs, but hey, we can take a flyer on that.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
a couple mil.
They need a save.
Yep.
To me, I think that should be priority number one. Like, the team has flaws. You need the biggest flaw is you need a save. And also, you're too old.
I don't know.
You need a save.
I think Kyle put himself in a position where he just doesn't need to do that. You just don't need to do that.
Don't need to to commit?
Yeah, because these guys that we're talking about that he could trade have no value.
I think it was done for him. Yeah, that's why he's not trading them, because they have no value.
No. The guys, the core three do. I am not suggesting you trade with Sidney Crosby. Not for a moment.
And do you want me to save this as a hotkey so you can bring it up all season long?
What's that? What's the hot?
I heard a lot of people that were highly skeptical of the team's ability to contend here. And the way I view it is that if people want to bet against Mike Sullivan, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, and others, they can go ahead and do so. But I'm going to bet on them and go with them here.
His core four.
You want me to play that?
Kyle Dubas in the core four. Right again.
Just the part, but I'm going to bet on them.
Every time the Pens lose, we come back on the show.
But I'm going to bet on them. But I'm going to bet on them. And I'm going to bet on them. You can bet that with Kyle Dubas. Only this time, he's the
Who are
president.
you, Sid Sixero?
I
Kyle Dubas, fraud.
No, I don't
That's
think
you.
that. I actually am a big fan. I just think he's like, man, you stepped out of Toronto, and what did you get? An older core four.
I mean,
Like, I'm sorry.
That's a dark way to look at it.
There's nothing wrong with me saying that. And I know Penguins fans will be mad because you're in love with these guys, and I totally freaking get it because
No, Penguins fans
they
are
won you
realistic.
3 cups. No, there will be some Penguins fans that are upset, and then there'll be Penguins fans that are great.
yeah, there's so many people.
There's a lot of people. There's lots of people who think lots of things.
There's so many people who think everything.
But can I just say this? You can't tell me that optically that was a good idea. No matter what they do. The chances are, listen, for every general manager, chances are you're not going to win the cup. So why are you tying yourself to shit?
No, but he didn't go out and guarantee I'm going to win the Stanley Cup again with Sidney Crosby. He just said, I'm going to
bet on him.
I'm going to keep this core together for 2 years. Is all he said.
Oh.
Because that's the length of Sidney Crosby's contract. That's all you're tied down to. And I think that's fair.
And in 2 years, the media is going to say, hey, man, yeah, so you bet on him. And he'll be like, yeah, I did. And then if they don't win, he'll be like, but now I'm going to bet on this. And people will be like, okay, cool. Well, I won't even question it.
No.
If you're betting on
and
it,
he's going to
then-
sit there and tap his
Well, actually,
4 and 5 cup rings on the table.
yeah, you know what? I like the thing is with Kyle, like I'm a huge fan. I hope he does well. Like I'm not saying I don't know. I thought that was beyond the pale. Didn't you learn your lesson on 32?
I know what you mean.
Here's what I'm excited for. It's Dubas with a fresh palette.
Not really. Someone else's old palette.
Yeah, he's tied down.
This painting has been painted for a while.
It's 20 mil in caps.
He's gonna have to take a bad tattoo and correct it.
There are talented artists out there who can do that.
We'll see what
also, I didn't.
and by the way,
what are you talking about?
no, your tattoos are amazing. Your artist, by the way, can you shout them out again?
Livia Zhang.
Amazing. I like really genuinely great tattoos. But I do want to say that I do think the rest of the stuff that he promised in the press conference is completely doable. And you see it in Toronto. He's going to restock the cupboard. He's going to trade his first pick down for 2 seconds, and that's actually really great in the end because
Billion.
he's very good at selecting in the second round and beyond. There's so many things that he's going to be able to bring to this organization that it does not have. Because it is just if you can describe the Pittsburgh Penguins as anything, it's thin. They are thin. They are thin on talent beyond those 3 players, beyond that head coach. In their, they need new prospects. They need draft picks, and they need to liven that up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Jesse,
What?
how many right-handed defensemen do they have? I just want to know.
Why are you
I
asking?
just want to know how many right-handed defensemen they have on their roster.
Give me one
I
second.
know Petrie is one. Letang is the other.
You got Petrie, Letang, Jan Ruda's listed as left/right. Ruhwedel can play the right.
Yeah,
and
Ruda.
Kulikov is left/right.
Chad Ruhwedel. Chad not going to work here anymore. He's going to sign Justin Hall. You are a Pittsburgh Penguin. He's going to come in. I just want to know how many former Leafs are going to be on the next year's Penguins team. My money is, what's the over-under on that? Oh, we should get Dave on that. Opening day roster, how many people who have played at least one game for the Toronto Maple Leafs are on the Pittsburgh Penguins?
I'll do you one better. We'll do a Leafs one and a Sault Ste. Marie one.
Okay.
So how many former Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds play for the Penguins next year?
Interesting.
Don't you? That'll be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I mean, there was clearly a connection. I think that'd be fun.
I wonder if they get Martin Marincin back. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see.